10 o'clock at night, freezing cold, but I finally got the opportunity to get sat down with you and get this video knocked out. So, hey, how's it going, for like, it's me, and you're watching another exciting installment of the Pro Vlog. Yeah, I must be the slowest content releaser on YouTube. It seems like forever. I've been doing very important business, being a dad. So it's been 5 months. My son Struan was born, and yeah, it's been keeping me real busy. And I have been getting a bit here, there, odd done, but we're finally just getting back into the build. The build has not went how I planned it altogether. I don't know what's really happened, but like usual story, it just kind of went to crap really. Not for lack of time, just for I didn't expect it to go down this route. Although I've got a history of doing this, I think it's important what I'm doing to the car and what I need to do to learn how to be better at, well, putting out a better motorsport product in the end, which is going to be the race car at the end of the day. And yeah, I'm happy with how it's going so far. It's daunting, the sheer project it's turned into. I did not think it was going to need as much welding as it did. But now I'm getting into it, I can see that we're heading the right direction with it. So first of all, say thank you very much for all the views. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I know I'm not the quickest content creator on the planet, but I still see now and again popping up a subscriber here and there, and thank you very much for supporting the channel. So first of all, if you get a chance, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and we'll try and keep the content coming in 2023. Right, let's get a bit more close and personal here. First thing I want to speak about is my welder that I've been using. When one of the biggest expenses of this project has been buying proper equipment. It's something I've always scrimped on before. I've always borrowed or kind of used older kind of equipment. And when I started doing this project, I decided that I needed welders, I needed jigs for cutting pipes, and I'm gonna have to get a saw for doing when I get into my exhaust stuff. So, you know, I decided I was going to get the right equipment, and I decided to invest in a MIG welder for doing the chassis. I find the MIG welding, yeah, I could have done the whole thing in TIG, but MIG's just a little bit quicker and it gives, you know, okay results. So this is the MIG welder I've been using so far throughout the season. It's this one here. So this is my Artec MIG 180, 240 volt supply inverter MIG welder. It's a really cracking welder. It's done basically anything I can throw at it, even from fabricating the benches that I use in the workshop is all done with this MIG welder. Internal wire reel inside it. You can use a spool gun in it to work aluminium, so you could use an external spool gun to weld MIG aluminium. Not that I'm going to be doing that. There it is, look, my Artec welder. So I'm not going to get into this today, but I'll just show you what I've made a start to doing. Making a custom steering column mount off the roll cage there. It's just tacked in place at the moment. I've got a mount for the digital dash that's going to be going in, and just a mount for my steering column there. Something I said I would never do again is put a pedal box into an S chassis. I said, nope, never gonna do it, so guess what, we're putting a pedal box into an S chassis. So we've got here is a Wilwood top mounted brake bias pedal box. I priced up the Chasing Bay kit, the dual master cylinder kit, and for the price of it I was cheaper buying the pedal box and just my time of fitting it, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but I think it'll be a better product in the end. Also I can modify the throttle pedal and I'll just make the whole set look a bit more professional looking. Right, so that's enough catch up what we're doing. Let's get into the meat of the video. Let's have a look at modifying the tubs and the front end of this car. Let's get to that. Right, so I managed to come across these cuts. The turrets from an S14. It looks like it's been a UK S14. You can tell that because the bits that I bought this to replace are rusty in the same place. So I'm going to take this off and see what like a nick it is behind here. I'll maybe have to replace a little section here. I just wanted to do some repairs to basically work I did to the car for a start, putting the tubs in. I cut a little bit too much material out of these turrets. I want to make sure that the turrets are nice and strong. I don't want them flexing, especially because I've taken like the makeshift strut brace that I fitted to the car to give me more room for fitting like the catch tank and stuff like that. So what I've done is I've pilot drilled, and I've drilled with the spot rivet drill. I'll drill all these out, then I will cut it down the back here, down the middle, and then this section should come away and I'll be able to weld this into the car, hopefully. That's the plan.
It's been a long time since I felt so sick. I took a long
These are not just cars anymore. These trucks are being driven by incredibly talented individuals. Insect looks dejected. Most drivers do not look confident. I'll tell you, that's not me. I'm not too sure which way this is going to go. Both of these guys have no idea. No idea. No idea. There's two idiots in the tower here that have no idea either. Well, here we go. Who's going to the final? David Powers. David takes for both sides there, but for now.
So I'll explain what I'm doing here. This is the part that I've just drilled and cut. Now, unfortunately, like all probably UK S14s at the moment on the road, even my donor piece has got little bits of rust in it that unfortunately the only way to sort is to cut out and put patches in. So I've cut out the tub, which you can see, and I'll show you another side in a minute what it used to look like in case you haven't been following the series and haven't seen the front of the car. So when I first did this car, I cut too much out, got a bit overexcited, and the tub was quite big and heavy, quite thick material I ended up using because it's all I could get a hold of at the time, and I made a bit of an arse of it, to be honest. So this is my repair. So we've got the repair panel. I'll have to clean up and prep for painting. I'll clean it up first while I've got it off the car, and I've cut away the tub and I've dressed up the material the best I can, and this is just going to go in here, and I'll have to put in a couple of patches. I'll just weld round here, weld into the spot welds, original spot welds, and that should be a fix. And that's a lot lighter than the tub was. Now I'm going to have to do a 2mm plate on here and take a 30mm tube down to about here to give it strength, but it'll be a lot lighter than the setup I was running before, so I'm happy with how that's turning out. So I've just to get this cleaned up and get it tacked in place. But I'll probably prep the other side first. Maybe go around here a bit. You can see how the other side looks compared to that, and that's back to normal. It's all important things that need to be done to the car to preserve the chassis for the future, but it's all very time consuming. And you know, you're doing things better than you did it the first time. You're making a better job of how you did it. And yeah, I'm happy with how it's coming out. It's just taken a bit of time. But the reason why I'm doing this like this is because I'm about to put chassis mounted engine mounts in, and I need to see what material I need to get these mounts fitted. I'll maybe have to add some plates in for these mounts to go in, so I thought better get turrets done first, then I can concentrate on the engine mounts. Then once the engine mounts are in, we can get the engine test fitted and get the gearbox mounting points all done. Engine mounts. And really that's the brunt of the fabrication done. Now, I know there's still bash bars to make, there's still, you know, brackets for holding everything, the bodywork and that. But once the engine's mounted in place, that allows me to fabricate I'll test fit the manifold and fabricate the exhaust system, and you know, that's the brunt of the work. And if I can get all that done, I can get it all torn down and painted, and that's going to make a big difference to the build. Hopefully see some progress there. So yeah, let's do more.
Straight back home, I could've walked back to San Francisco. I used to long for time alone. I used to long for a place of my own. And I'm losing faith in everything. I'm lost, so lost, I'm lost at sea, you see. I used to long for broken bones. I used to long for a casket to call my own. I never had a problem facing fear, but I'm done over and out, my dear. And oh, mercy me, God bless catastrophe. But there's no way in hell we'll ever live to see through this. So drop yourself and say tonight it's not that far away, and not just build up your tank earlier today. Yeah. Since I felt so sick, I took a long while straight back home. I could've walked back to Chicago. I used to long for time alone. I used to long for a place of my own. And I've lost faith in everything. I'm lost, so lost, I'm lost without you. Oh, losing me, God bless catastrophe. But there's no way in hell we'll ever live to see through this. So drop yourself and say.
Right, I'll give you a closer look of this side. That's a new section welded in. I just need to do the inside, but I'll do that once I get the suspension off. Engine mounts tacked in at this side. A little profiled plate I made for going on there. Now I've just to do the same at this side now.
Tonight it's not that far away, and I just filled up your tank earlier today.
This is my idea for the engine mount. I'm going to mount the engine from the chassis rather than the subframe, so that the subframe can be removed with the engine still in the car and make it a bit easier again to service if there's any damage to the front end. So I have bought this kit from, I believe it was Demon Tweaks UK. You get it from like Burton Power and stuff. It's actually a Pinto into a Mark II Escort mounting kit, but I think I can modify it and make it work for my application. I'm going to be using one polyurethane mount at the intake side, and I think I'll be aluminium one at the exhaust side. It should only need the one polyurethane mount to give it a little bit of flex, but I don't want the engine to move about too much because that causes things to break. So that's the plan. So at the moment I'm just going to tack this in place. If I can get the other side done and other mount tacked in place, then I can mount the engine, the gearbox, and I can mock up the engine and gearbox mounts. So that is the plan. I think that will be the business.
Right, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that my video's been some benefit, or I was giving you any ideas for your own build. So that is basically where we're at the moment. There's still some welding to be done, but I've been spacing out the welding in the sense of I need to take the subframe and the front steering out to get in the inside of the tubs, inside of the arches. Right, so that's where we're at the moment. There's still welding to do on the inside of the arches, but I'm going to hold on until further on when I've got the front subframe out and we can get that welded, getting about properly. I need to do engine mounts next. So if you stay tuned for the next episode, we're going to be fabricating custom engine mounts. You've seen the ones that are fitted to the chassis or tacked into the chassis for now. I'm going to make the plates and we're going to make the engine mounts. I'm going to have to try and make gearbox mounts and try and finish welding the tunnel. My reasoning for going down this line of putting the engine in next is because I need to know where the shifter is going to go inside the car. I need to know where then the handbrake's going to go, which is going to affect the position and everything around about the steering wheel. Finish putting in the pedal box. And I think when you're doing this style of builds, you're better to get the big stuff out of the way. For example, if I get the engine, the gearbox mounted, I can test the turbo manifold, the turbo, make sure the spacing's okay for that, and that leaves you to fabricate an exhaust, intercooler pipework. That's the main meat of the build there. I'm decided to have a go at doing the intercooler pipework and the exhaust work myself, which is something I've never done before, and yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to TIG weld, which is turning out to be the thing about this build. It's just a learning curve, learning new things. I think that's a good point to stop this video. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, I appreciate it greatly. And stay tuned for the next episode. I'll catch you later.